Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Turn It Up. This is going to be the part 4 Rockin' Like Dokken Christmas special. The Rockin' Like Dokken Christmas special, everybody. So, moving on, I didn't start out the show with Christmas music like I normally have been. I figure everybody's probably got their belly full of Christmas music and they're ready to move on from it. But quick thing, I'm not going to get preachy on it or anything. Just remember, he is the reason for the season. If you don't know who I'm talking about, maybe take a look. Make your Christmas a little bit easier. A little prayer and a little trust, a little faith seems to help me, and I hope it help you too. Now, moving on. First of all, I appreciate all the love that I got on the drum video I did. Me and Mariah would like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We surely do appreciate everything. Now moving on, let's get to the business at hand. Dokken, last of the 4 albums. Now they did do a live Beast from the East album, and they did a return album, but I'm talking about the big 4. This is my favorite album, and I'm going to explain to you why Back for the Attack from Jeff Pilson, George Lynch, Wild McBrown, and Don Dokken is my favorite Dokken album. And if you remember in episodes, I might have talked about it before, and I'm pretty sure I have, that I like listening to an album as a whole. I like listening to the album as a whole. To me, I like the songs to sound like they belong together, and I like them to run seamlessly together to where it's like a thought has been put into this album, like not a group of songs have been placed on this album like a greatest hits album. And that's why I'm not big on greatest hit albums, because to me they don't capture the magic of what the album was intended for. When they were writing, they were all in a certain place and it sounded like something. And Back for the Attack nails that for me. To me, every song sounds like they went in with a plan. The production sounds all the same all the way across the board. There's a darkness, and I'm not talking about an evilness. I'm talking about a darkness, like lights down low, tracking that goes on Back for the Attack, and you'll hear it while I'm playing these songs. But to get on to it, this was also at the height of their career for them. Dokken in 1987 was everywhere. Everywhere. They were the kings of MTV. They just did the song for Nightmare on Elm Street. Video was everywhere. They were at their height then. Dokken Exposure was at its height. And to me, this album just was a great listening to. And I still enjoy listening to it to this day. And you're about to get a taste of that. And it's going to start off contest-wise. Remember I said, you're going to have to tell me what the name of this, my favorite song off this album was. And here it is. It's starting out with the lead track off of Back for the Attack, and it can't get any better than Kiss of Death. Comes in roaring. just a tremendous song. Just wonderful song. The Kiss of Death. It's just great. Seriously though, that song just smack bam. But you'll hear in that production, there's something to this production that they did on this album that's different from all the other Dokkens. They touched on it on a little bit on the other 3 albums, but this one they had it down. They had it to a science. Just how melodic Don's vocals are and how it's blended with the band and how the band all has that edge in the production. Love the snare sound on this album too. That big gated snare sound, just wonderful. Jeff's bass is more predominant, I think, in this album than the other ones. Just great bass lines. The guitar playing is out of this world. Come on, it's out of this world. Gonna dive back into it, back into Kiss of Death. George Lynch, ladies and gentlemen, George Lynch. Just his playing on this album makes it the classic album that it is. George Lynch is absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. The guitar riffs, the solos, the leads, the melody, the speed, the articulation in his solos are just phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, this band is a great band, but George is what takes this band over the top. And Kiss of Death, just a shining example of it, leading off the track. And then we go into Prisoner, and I'm going to give you a little, I'm not going to talk a lot on these songs. I'm going to do a lot more letting you listening to these songs so you can hear what I hear and how these songs correlate to one another and how they blend. Just amazing.
It wasn't just your innocence. No, it wasn't temptation. It was just your own way of placing the blame on me. Start thinking that it's all in vain. You keep trading your love for pain. Someday an answer will come, 'cause there ain't no way to escape. Baby, I'm a prisoner. Oh, chained by love. It's so easy to see I could never be free. I'm a prisoner, chained by love. Chained by love. The answer for your loneliness is only frustration. So you gave it all away by placing the blame on me. Remember.
Like I said, they just seamlessly fall in together. The production, I can't say it enough about this album. It's the engineering, it's the producer, it's the production. All of it hit right together, and the band on point. Like you could tell they've been road veterans now. They've played live. They know how to play together. They know what the band is supposed to sound like. And just another shining example is Prisoner. That's the second track on the album. Starts out with Kiss of Death into Prisoner. Then it just goes right in, man. It just keeps getting where you hear it. Night by Night is the next track, and you'll hear it, how they sound the same, but they are different songs. Monster riff.
It's bad enough being under control. Same thing every day. Late at night, there's a place we can go where nothing can stand in our way. I can't keep it away. Not living for the day. So baby, can't you see we're living night by night? It's just you and me, living night by night. We're living night by night. We'd never see the light of time. So baby, can't you see we're living night by night? Yeah, we're living night by night. The night is all that we need.
Just brilliant vibrato by George, too. His vibrato is like nobody else's, and nobody's vibrato is supposed to be the same. And like Angus has a great vibrato, Tony Iommi has great vibrato, but they're different. And George's was this shaky vibrato that was, I don't know how to describe it, like a roaring dragon. Like a roaring dragon. That's what it's, I do know how to describe it, and I just did. But Night by Night, once again, an extension from Prisoner and Kiss of Death. These songs are flowing together. The production's equal across of them. There's not one song that's pulling more weight than the other. Why Kiss of Death is my favorite song off this album, it doesn't make a difference. I love all these songs on this album because they're all pulling their weight and they're all telling the story of this album back for the attack. And buddy, that's what they were. They were back for the attack. They were releasing another album, trying to take over the world. And they almost did it. But anyway, moving on, we're going into Standing in the Shadows, and you'll hear it once again. These songs are just fabulous together.
They couldn't understand. He wanted more from life. It was his one device. Yeah, he could fly home when the lights were low. Yeah, it was in his eyes, and it was no surprise. Through the streets at night, he smiled like no other as he prayed again. Looked upon
awesome. Just another awesome track. Man, Jeff's opening bass, dum 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 dum, then he drops it, dum 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 dum. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that I really dig, and they did it well all through this album. And like I said, you hear that dark sound on every song, the way it's produced and engineered. They've got a dark sound, and the mix is just beautiful on this album for me. I can hear the bass, I can hear the drums, I can hear the vocals, I can hear the guitars. Just wonderful. And once again, Standing in the Shadows, just a prime example of how good this album is. And George's playing on this whole album is just brilliant. Shredderific is what that is. Just absolutely amazing. Now, moving on to another song on the album, going in sequence, we're going to Heaven Sent, and I'm going to break down Heaven Sent. It's just one of these moody songs. It's not a ballad, but it's played at low tempo, and it's dark, mysterious, mystical. It's everything. Heaven Sent, just a great song, just a really well thought out production song. This ain't just hammering away. This is a really brilliant song. Heaven Sent.
Justice when you fall in love. It gives you blindness when you are the one that's hurting, 'cause they've got the gun. There seems no justice when you fall in love. Save me, don't let me fall. Heaven sent, I heard the call. Stop me, don't let me go. Touch my heart and let me know. Heaven sent, thought you would set me free. Heaven sent, thought it could never be. Heaven sent, if I had only seen that you were burning the fire in me. You took my passion, most of my soul, but I will come back, baby, stronger than before. Take my feelings, leave me in pain. I will forget you one of these days. Stop me from feeling this way.
Just a magnificent song. Heaven Sent, probably my favorite lyrical Dokken song. I love the writing in that song. I love the chorus. I love the verses. I love the mood of that song. Not my favorite Dokken song because I still like to bang my head, but Heaven Sent is just up there with the top. My favorite Dokken song, just because it's well written all the way around, musicianship and everything. And it ties in once again to this moody, dark sound of this whole album, the whole production of the album. We're going into the next one, and There is no lyrics on this. There is no Don Dokken on this. This is the band Dokken, and this is where George Lynch solidified himself as a guitar hero because he said, I'm going to do a song that's just drums, bass, and guitar, and I'm going to light up the world. And he does it with no other than his nickname, Mr. Scary. And one of the things that gets a lot of talked about from in musicians' world is like a lot of people hate on the hard rock guys and the heavy metal guys because they say that there's not a lot of soul in it. You know, like the blues guys, like, oh, you know, so that guy on this album is pouring his heart in every note. You can hear him cling to every screeching note with every fiber of his being. And if that ain't soul, I don't know what it is. And the Mr. Scary. Every note that he's playing in them guitar things, he's holding on to these wide vibrato bends and dive bar. Every note is clawing at the track to stay in there. Like it's just ripping at the track to stay relevant on that. To me, there's so much soul, so much heart poured into that song by George that it deserved every bit of credit that he got and every bit of credit he still gets. And that's Mr. Scary, and it fit right in. They put a song on there and finally was like, look, George, do you. And George did, and it was brilliant. We go from Mr. Scary on to So Many Tears, and once again, it just fits well in this album, So Many Tears. So, I know I said I wasn't going to talk that much. I was going to let you listen to these songs. But if you'll listen to Don, when Don sings, Don doesn't sing like any other singer that's out there to me. To me, he's like a crooner, like from the 20s, 30s, and 50s, the crooners, he comes in like a crooner. Like a lot of singers talk notes, and Don sings every note. And if you'll pay attention to this song, it's a really good example of why I'm saying this, is because that's what Don does. He croons.
Had such a foolish heart. You thought it would last forever, but you were the one that brought it to an end. Now I'm standing in the rain, 'cause I wasn't there for you. Such a fool was I. It should have never been. I can't stop you now. My back's against the wall. There's only so many tears you can cry. There's only so many ways you can say goodbye. Only so many tears you can cry. There's only so many ways you can say goodbye. So many.
Now, if you're listening to this just off your phone and not listening to it through headphones or another device, you're not going to hear part of this brilliant album and what makes this album brilliant, because it gets lost in phone speaker. Jeff Pilson's bass lines on this album. Jeff Pilson is such a huge musical talent. His vocals, his background singing and all that, his songwriting, but that bass playing that he plays on that, going from drive to melody bass lines, is phenomenal. It's a different approach that nobody else does. And if you'll listen to this album through headphones, you'll hear all these little bass notes that he's putting in there, these little melody drives, and then he pushes the song at the same time. He doesn't lose sight of the fact that he is in a heavy metal band and he wants to push the song, but he adds melody. He adds a counterpoint to what's going on to the song, and it's brilliant what he does. And it's all over this album. Highly recommend. Listen to this album and listen to it through a good set of headphones. You'll come away with a different appreciation for it.
Tears you can cry. There's only so many ways you can say goodbye. Only so many tears you can cry. There's only so many ways you can say goodbye. I can't take anymore.
Just another great song on that album. Like I said, they all are attached. They're all interwoven with each other, and it's brilliant. It makes for a great listening for me. Look, I don't expect Dokken to be everybody's cup of tea, and I know a lot of people are listening to it going, sounds like 80s hair metal. It doesn't to me. It doesn't to me. If you think when you listen to Dokken and you listen to Poison and you're hearing the same thing, and I'm not putting down Poison, don't take this as a put down Poison, because I like Poison too, but if you think you're listening to two similar things, you're not. And your ears are sorely letting you down, or your mind, you're so narrow-minded that you can't get past it. You can't get past the look or the dress, whatever's your bag, man. But if you can't hear the talent that's going on in this and how much further up the range of talent these guys have compared to other people that were playing at that time, then I don't listen to this. Turn it off. I don't care. I don't want you listening to this. I'm not scared. If you can appreciate these songs, just, I get it. It's not your cup of tea, then. But to me, to millions of other people who are a Dokken fan, this band was special, so special to us, because they had something different than everybody else. They had metal with a melody that was fantastic for me. they had a almost gothic sound to them too. Nobody ever talks about that, but I will. I'll talk about it. There's, and I don't mean gothic like black eyeliner and black lipstick gothic. I mean like gothic like dark and mysterious. And just for me, I can't get enough of it. Moving on, this was their, I don't know if it was their first MTV video off this album, but gosh, what a great song.
Never thought our love would last for so long. Time and time and again, I thought that you would be gone. Still we kept love hanging on. I guess it's meant to be that your heart still belongs to me. And now we stood the test of time. We survived. I asked for hope and a chance. You gave the key your heart. Used to say that I'm not sincere. I'm gonna prove that you're wrong. I'm never gonna leave your arms. Should've realized before your love's worth waiting for. Don't you know that it's our love that's burning, burning like a flame? And you know that it's our love that's never, never gonna change. 'Cause every time I touch you,
Burning Like a Flame, and that is Tammy's favorite song off the album. Everybody, just a great song all the way around. It was meant to be a hit, and it was a hit, and it was written well, and it was to me, there's a certain amount of integrity when you go reaching for a hit that you still got to keep for a band like Dokken. And I never felt like Dokken sold out on any of these songs. I never felt like they were just selling out to do a song. Like Burning Like a Flame, yes, it's a love reference, you know what I mean? But to me, it wasn't an easy love reference. It was well thought out, and, very articulate. Great song. Have no problem with it. Video's funny. Check out the video. They're on a fire truck going around some giant clay monsters. You just have to watch it. I can't even describe it well. We go from Burning Like a Flame to my second favorite song on the album, and it's Lost Behind the Wall.
when the sun fades to black and the night is calm, there's a will to survive this rule by the gun. There's a fear in your eyes and a dream that was lost. There's a hand of fate left to die on the cross. You never really had a chance. Did my atmosphere tear it down? All of your light grows cold when you're lost behind the wall. All of the dreams you've ever known will be lost behind the wall. Misfortune can hide the freedom to choose.
You know what? I have just changed my mind, and for the contest reasons, this is my favorite Dokken song. Lost Behind the Wall has just taken over Kiss of Death as my favorite song. So if you want to win this contest, you've got to guess Lost Behind the Wall. The reason why it's my favorite Dokken song is just the groove of the song.
Lost behind the wall. All the dreams you've ever known will be lost behind the wall. Lost behind.
And it's got a bass breakdown in it. Come on. How could it not be my favorite song? It's got a bass breakdown. Lost Behind the Wall, everybody. So remember, if you want to win this, because it just became my favorite Dokken song. It was under Kiss of Death, but listening back to this, man, that song just speaks to every fiber of me. And Lost Behind the Wall has become my new number one. And look, it's the great things like this. Later on in life, songs have become my favorite that used to not be my favorite. And now this has been out. I'm not going to say the age because that just makes me feel older. But for a while, a long time, I've listened to this album blue million times. And now, today, while I'm doing this show, that song just became my new favorite Dokken song. So that's how it is, and that's how it goes. The next song on this album is Stop Fighting Love. And once again, like I said, these songs tie in together, which makes it my favorite Dokken album. Everybody else can have their opinion on what that one is, and I don't take nothing away. I love Dokken. And if you say, you can't go wrong saying any Dokken album is your favorite Dokken album with me, but this is why I like this album, because every one of these songs match.
We've changed, love remains, so give me one more chance. I'll wait another day until there's nothing. Stop fighting love. Baby, I just wanna know the reason why. Stop fighting love. Don't say goodbye. And you'll be back in my arms again.
Stop Fighting Love, just a great example of Jeff, Don, and Mick singing together and their harmonies and how they blend together. But Jeff and Don, once again, how similar their vocals are, or how similar Jeff can sound to Don. Jeff's writing's all over this. Jeff's bass playing makes this album great. Why George is the soul of Dokken. Don't underestimate the bass player's part in this band. Jeff shows you what you can do. And I'm pretty sure Jeff engineered a lot of this. He had his hands on that mixing board. And helped with the direction of how these songs blend and tie together. Jeff, an unsung hero on it. Don't get me wrong, Mick Brown is one of my favorite drummers and bashes the drums away, but the musical direction of this, and he's writing the lyrics, he's writing the music, he's showing these guys how to put their pieces together, blending it together. Jeff, a very unsung hero, and Dokken. Jeff is an unsung hero in bass playing too. His bass playing doesn't get the credit it deserves, and I don't understand why. Jeff Pilson is brilliant on the instrument. Walks right in, steps in with Foreigner and learns their catalog, which is just nuts to do. Plays it live, sings all the backups, does it perfect. Keyboard, plays the keyboard too. Engineers, produces, he does it all. I mean, just a tremendous music talent. So I'm going to take my time to salute the man, Jeff Pilson. Going on to the last song on, not the last song, the next song, Cry of the Gypsy, and just a great song that goes in. Once again, just how they're woven together makes this a Cry of the Gypsy. Another, they have not let me down as a listener since the opening track. Here we are, just keep going through songs, and I can't tell you something I don't like about any of these songs yet. Going into that, from Cry of the Gypsy goes to Sleepless Nights. Sleepless Night is just a brilliant song too. Great opening riff. What about that Sleepless Night? Just forget about it. Forget about it. It's just another great song. Just another great song on this album. To get to the closing of this album, and a lot of you may have heard this. If you've watched the Nightmare on Elm Street series, you'll know this song from it. It was the one where they fought Freddy Krueger in the dreams and they became the Dream Warriors. Well, Dokken had the song Dream Warriors and it was used on it. Great MTV music video too. Freddy Krueger's in it in their music video. Reach their claws through their stomach and stuff. It's just awesome. Just a great song, but the song is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Check it out on the way out. Dream Warriors. What a brilliant, brilliant song to close out a brilliant, brilliant album. And I'm so stoked that I got to share that with you. My opinion of it. Like I said, guys, I don't expect everybody to agree with me, and I don't expect everybody's musical taste. But if you could fathom something out of that and went, man, that's a jam, and I turned you on to a Dokken song that you liked, just awesome. But to me, that is my favorite Dokken album. Me and Al and debate on this all the time, and like we say, how can you be wrong? If you picked a Dokken album, how can you be wrong? Well, you can't. But the synergy of this album, how it flows together and becomes one, how every song fits together, and there's not a bad song on it. Musically, to me, just Jeff Pilson taking the reins of what he's done on this album. It'll always be one of my favorite bass playing albums. So that's another reason why it's on there. George's guitar work on this one, to me, is up on a level that he solidified himself. And don't take this wrong, but he puts himself up there with the Eddie Van Halen's, the Jimi Hendrix. He's produced something on guitar level wise that's up there with those guys, Eric Clapton's. And for me, Angus and Malcolm Young are up there. Dave Mustaine, Marty Freeman, just great guitar heroes. Zakk Wylde, Randy Rhoads, Jakey Lee. George put himself in that level with this album. He solidified it. So that means a lot. Don, just being Don. People hate on Don Dokken a lot, and they think he's the reason why the band's not together. And I got nothing but love for Don Dokken. Thank you for giving me 4 brilliant Dokken albums. And I like the other Dokken albums too that are without the band, and I'm not trying to put them down. But to me, this was the cream of the crop, and it always will be for me the cream of the crop. Whether they might not like it as much, or Joe Schmo might not like it as much, I love this album. It's a treasure for me. So guys, there it is. So I'm just gonna wrap this up with the Rockin' Like Dokken Christmas special is over. I am gonna take time out from reviewing musical albums and stuff like that. I'm not done reviewing musical albums, but this was a lot to do these for me, just staying mentally focused for them. There's so much stuff I want to talk about and do, and I'm not done with talking about rock and roll, but I'm not going to review an album right away. I'm going to wait and give it some time. Before I do that, I'm going to talk about bass and drums, and I still got to do my top favorite guitar players and my top favorite vocalist. I got to get to that. I'm going to do that. I've got a ton of Bigfoot stuff I want to talk about, and I still want to sit down with some friends, and we're going to talk about some things. I'm hoping maybe we'll catch a blizzard, and I'll get a good snowed in, and I'll have a week of podcasts. It could happen. We'll get some cocoa. We'll sit around. We'll tell stories. But I'm going to do some. I got to do some bass videos and request for some more drum videos. Some people want me to do other drum songs and stuff, and I will do that. I'm going to get to everything. I got a lot to do. I work a full-time job. This is not the only thing I do, so I have to, and I want to be passionate about it, or I don't want to do it at all. So I want to have a passion, and this is definitely a passion for me. Was Back for the Attack, so I couldn't wait to get to it. Guys, I know it's the holiday season, and I know a lot of people are dealing with a lot of things, and I know there's a lot of stress. This morning, I started my morning off right. This is Sunday, by the way, and I started my morning off right. I got my bass packed up, drove out to the church. I play bass for a church, and I play old country gospel bass lines when I play with them, and I'm more than happy. Like why I'm talking about heavy metal here. Music feeds me, and playing bass is one of my loves, and I love to do it. And I don't care what environment I'm in, and playing them old gospel hymns with the walking bass lines and stuff. It's just fun to do. Got my spirit right. We had a great time at church, fellowship, and I go to a really small church. It's not a big church, but there's a love and a connection, and non-judgmental, and people there just to share love and peace. And I feel love and peace, and it fills me up with love and peace. And for an angry guy like myself, who's always looking for something to be angry for, it gets me through my week. I hope everybody finds something that they love and brings them peace. That's the secret to life. That I've figured out in old age. It ain't about how far up a company ladder you can get. It ain't about how many cars you have sitting in your thing. It ain't how big your bank account is. It ain't, this life ain't to feed your ego. This life is to be a part of humanity in a peaceful way, with love and peace. And I'm not trying to be a hippie or get on anything, but I'm trying to tell you that's what it is, and why I haven't lived my life that way. And I'm not sitting here preaching from the top of a mountain, because I'm the biggest sinner there ever was and ever will be. I'm right there with you. But I'm telling you, if you want to fix things that are going on in your life that you can't fix, there's only one person who can, and that's Jesus. And I'm taking my time to tell you that. I love him with all my heart. And without him, I wouldn't be the person I am right now. Thank him every day for turning me around from the horrible human being that I was. But to let it all go, guys, have some fun. Enjoy yourself. Listen to some good music. Enjoy Christmas. Enjoy it. Enjoy this time of year. Enjoy it. Don't let the stress overwhelm you. Don't let buying things overwhelm you, because that's not what it's about. Have some fun. Enjoy your time. Enjoy your Christmas. And on the way out, I hope it snows, guys. I really hope it snows. I really do hope it snows, so y'all can get a week's long of Ben podcasts. I might go outside and make a snow angel. Guys, if y'all don't do anything this week, be love on somebody, and turn it up.
but the fire is so delightful. Since with no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of stopping in the frost of corn for power.